Okay, back again. We're going to be putting Loctite on these fittings. These are number 6 JICs. Previous video I was just screwing them all on. Here's that shaft that broke, and here's the new one replaced. Again, parts are interesting to get, but you kind of see the two. These are gloss hard. You can kind of tell right there. They're rock hard, and there's no soft steel inside these things. In fact, you can actually see a bit of chrome loss right here. I'm not sure you can see that, but right here my finger's pointing, there's actually cracks on the chrome itself because this shaft bent so violently to the side, left or right, that the chrome actually flaked off inside the tool, and then they finally snapped the shaft off. So I don't know what they're doing with this thing, but I'm thinking that they're pounding rocks or gravel, or maybe worse, they're pounding granite blocks, or I don't know what they're doing with it. They're not. They don't really normally break like that, but I think that's just simply they're trying to use it as like a jackhammer, maybe. I don't know. So, anyways, we're gonna get some Loctite on these fittings. Put that sleeve back on the new shaft, so when I build the second one, I won't be scratched up. So again, I have marked P and T on the ports, so I won't mix them up. That's a good practice. You want to do that. Or some people use a marker on these, but the marker will wear off. So I actually get a letter stamp and stamp P and T on the ports. So we're going to get some Loctite. There's this guy over here. We're going to be applying Loctite to the threads, and you're probably thinking, why am I putting Loctite on here for? Well, they'll shake loose. This thing vibrates like you wouldn't believe, and we got to put Loctite on the threads. If we don't put Loctite on, they'll just shake loose, and inside the tool will leak. And yes, so that actually did come in one time. The first time I did one of these, I didn't put Loctite on the threads, and they shook loose, and then they just simply had to be retightened again. We put our hoses on first. I think this is a 3/4 maybe, or not exactly sure. 11/16 or 3/4. Let me get a 3/4 wrench on this first. Yeah, it's 3/4, so you can see right there. So we're just gonna snug it up. We're not going crazy tight, because if you go too tight on the JSC fittings, you'll actually split them in half like a banana. So remember, just finesse a little bit. You know, nothing crazy, or just snug. They do have Loctite, so they will grab and not shake loose. And the torque I'm putting on these is pretty much as tight as I can, but not putting a bar on here and jumping on it. I'm just as tight as I can from one hand, and that's fine, because we're going to be sliding this on the inside. I'm going to get some caps on these, so I'll be right back. I got some caps, and there's good reason for that. So when I slide it down the tube, there won't be any debris on here as well. So we're putting some plastic caps on here. And next we're going to mark the orientation of P and T on the hose. So we're going to get our marker. Generally mark the pressure line, or you can mark the T. You can't mark both, but as long as you mark one or the other. So this is a P. This hose is P. So what I'm going to do is just kind of put a whole bunch of ink on the hose. So when I feed it through the pipe, I can identify what is what. You can use white, you can use black, you can orange, red, I don't know, whatever color you have, as long as it marks the hose.
Oh, hi there. It's Bob at Hydraulic Repair Service.
Okay, that's marked. I might stand the camera back a little bit so kind of see what I'm doing here. So this is our feeder pipe. right here. So we're going to slide it through from the top to the bottom. And that's the reason why I mark them. Okay. Put this in the vise. Again, we're going to put some Loctite.
Hydraulic repair service. Give me a call back at 416-566-609.
We're going to put some Loctite on here.
That CX130 machine. We're having a really hard time trying to identify what's going into the parts. You can call us back and thank you for that.
So just be generous on the Loctite. So back again to this pipe we marked. So I'm not sure you guys can see it, but this is the pressure right here. Right here, my finger's pointing. So we're gonna flip that around. We're gonna take those caps off. The reason why I put caps on here is so the dirt doesn't get into the fitting, because we're trying to keep it clean as possible. If you don't have plastic caps, you can use steel pipe or steel caps, but I just have plastic ones. Problem is you kind of have to destroy it trying to take it off. So we're going to screw them on just like that, just by hand. We're not doing anything crazy here. Trying to get them to catch. And then what we're going to do here is just temporarily put a screw in the back. So I'm going to grab one of these little guys and a socket or a wrench or whatever it's called. I think it's 11/16, I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is. So we're gonna get one of these little guys. We're gonna walk back to here. We're gonna put a screw on, just one, on the back. And that will keep from twisting and slipping around. So when we go to do the end, it's just like that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten it up with our wrench and our 11/16. Let's get it so you guys can see it better. A little tricky, but have patience and you'll prevail. It's 5/8. Remember, there's Loctite on here, so don't take your time too long. Same thing on the bottom. Sometimes what I like to do is just kind of prop it up a little bit, or